Turning now to lawmen of the Old West, our poet reporter, Mr. Instrumentalist, celebrates African American History Month with the story of a forgotten hero.
A lot of people, when they think of the heroes of the Old West, think of people like Wyatt Earp and Wild Bill. Well, I'm going to tell you about the Invincible Marshal, Bass Reeves.
Born a slave in Crawford County, Arkansas in 1838, Bass Reeves lived in Texas before making his way to Oklahoma, where he would earn the name, the Invincible Marshal.
Bass Reeves is an important character in African American history and one of the unknown characters in African American history, although he has some regional knowledge. People know him locally, but he's not like the Martin Luther Kings or the Dick Gregory's, but he is a very important history, and especially in the American West.
The Indian Territory became a haven for the most ruthless of criminals, and Bass Reeves, because of his bravery and vast knowledge of the land, was appointed as Deputy U.S. Marshal to bring them to justice.
Picture that in your mind. Here is a guy, African American, with a gun and with a shield after the Civil War. This was a time of great lawlessness in the Indian Territory, what's today Oklahoma.
Bass Reeves proved himself the greatest marshal ever hired by Judge Isaac Parker, the hanging judge.
He had the reputation as being the hanging judge of Fort Smith, but in reality, he only sentenced about 150 people to death, and only about half of them ever really hung. Most of the rest were pardoned or paroled. So it's kind of a myth about how many people he really hung.
Whether they hung from the gallows or were pardoned was up to Judge Smith. But one thing is certain. When the Invincible Marshal was on your trail, your days of being on the run were numbered. The Invincible Marshal always got his man.
You can see more of the Poet Reporter exclusively at 713 News, the magazine show, right here.
Plus, at 713news.com, you can see all of the stories by Mr. Instrumentalist.